To be an artist in entertainment, Hollywood, K-pop, J-pop, etc., you must become a whore. The industry is your pimp, and you are pimped to the highest bidder. It's a big boys game, with your life as collateral. The money and accolades are life-changing, and for that, you give your soul, only to realize that after the initial joy of reaching the pinnacle, the cost to reaching it does not compare in value. The pain, the loss, the loneliness, exceeds the amount of money you made, thus rendering money as worthless. Upon that realization, you may attempt to retract, stop, but you contemplate how much you already lost, and how far you've come to give up, and return to basic, normal. Which prevents many from turning their backs on the industry, not to mention seeing the reality of the few that attempted to leave, and their demise, blackballed, ridiculed, financial destitution, makes you think twice. Unfortunately, it takes just as much as a sacrifice to leave, as it took to get in. The companies make billions from their artist, and will not easily relinquish their hold, so when an artist does decide to leave, the companies will use the hidden hand to intimidate the artist from leaving. Corporations will use a combination of 3 tactics to keep control. The hidden hand's purpose is to diminish, degrade, and expose the artist in the sight of their fans. People are quick to react and believe any and everything they hear on social media, not knowing that they're being manipulated to react in the way the corporation wants them to. The first method of control is direct intimidation with the artist. They will attempt the light, promise more money, a certain position, movies, Oscars, Grammys. The artist who is not sold on wanting to leave the industry will give in to the lure. If the tactic doesn't work, they will proceed to the dark. They will threaten to hurt the artist or their loved ones indirectly. If they don't perform, write songs, do this or that, they will suddenly be robbed, injured, have an accident. Thus, moving to the second tactic, public humiliation. The second tactic is public humiliation. The artist will be found in a precarious situation: drugs, women, drinking. They use the N-word, religious, racial, or sexual bashing. Fans fall every time, not knowing that there are fans, called bots, that are placed on social media to put out lies, videos, sex tapes, reactions to events, to guide the directive of the people. Take for example a recent incident that happened to RM of BTS. He posted a song selection that he wanted to share, that blew up into a religious scandal, spouting that he was against Muslims. People never stop to think, a company, or an artist will never intentionally hurt their bottom line, money. Why would he single out a good amount of his fan club? But it works every time. Some portion of the fan club will bite, following, whether knowingly or unknowingly, after bots. Those bots are both paid reactors, texters, actors, that are used indirectly, majority by the artist company, rivals of the company, most unlikely, I will explain later, or by individuals working with the artist. When it comes to the music industry, there are many hands being fed in the business, especially a group. There will always be one who does most of the work and the others sit back and profit. It will be those people who knows that if that main individual leave, so does their profit. Hence, the use of intimidation directly from members in the group. Companies are aware of the dynamic of groups and will use certain individuals in the group as a mole. They will always have someone to play the boss, and another as the enforcer to keep people physically in line. You might say, why would the artist company or members do such a thing? Power, money, and control. If they have an artist who makes them billions, they will not want to see them leave, so like any mafia group, you use tactics. You might say, wouldn't those tactics look bad on the artist? The tactics is a mental play on the artist, and will not affect the company yet. This level is the maybe the artist did this. It's a possibility. It's just enough to trigger the artist to reconsider, and can be cleaned up within 2 weeks, as that's about how long the public can tolerate news. If that doesn't work, and they feel that the artist is resolved to leave, and they know they will lose, they'll put everything on the line to humiliate the artist, thus leading to expulsion in the industry. Public humiliation is the third tactic. Public humiliation is the attempt or the outright stealing of the artist's assets through court trials, bankruptcy, legal actions, defamation of character. Take for example Michael Jackson, Bill Cosby, and many others. The ritual to defame the artist is so properly executed by the hidden hand. The public will argue, deny, accuse, and reject the once beloved artist that changed their lives and brought them joy for 10 years, within a matter of days. You're probably thinking, well, they deserve it, they are guilty, they did it. People will be shocked to know that whether the artist was guilty or not, is not the problem. It's likely to be true that some artist participated in behavior that we don't deem acceptable. What you don't know is that the behavior is commonplace amongst people in the industry, and most if not, everyone must do it. Again, it's a mafia. In order to be in, your hands must be dirty. Many artists know and are afraid of this exposure. It doesn't matter that everyone does it, it's whether the public knows. The companies use the public to their advantage, thus nailing the artist on the cross. Granted, the things that artists do, and the industry in general is criminal, but why are they exposing their artist, at this time? They hang the artist in public as a message to the others, to keep them in line. Majority of the time, the artists that try to leave, are often seen as whistleblowers. They become disillusioned with the company and realize they can't continue to participate in the ways of Hollywood, thus knowing that there is a possibility that they will be used as the scapegoat. There are times when artists who are so intentioned in the ways of the business, have no way out but death. The company will attempt to shut them up but so long, only to find that it's easier to keep the artist royalties, album sales, publishing rights, etc. Knowing the sacrifice artist will make to leave, puts fear in them in wanting to do so. Consequently, you have artists who engage in destructive escapism, drugs, alcohol, suicide, or just being utterly miserable throughout their lives, living behind a mask of fake smiles. They are trapped in their golden prison. There are a few artists who manage to escape, most often they languish into obscurity, never to see the spotlight. If they return, it will be worse than when they left. However, the artists that are at the forefront of the minds of the public now, will have to slowly retract their presence to the public. The entertainment world is cruel, there is so much more to say, to expose, that it is very difficult to do because of our beloved artist, but because of our beloved artists that are trapped, do I make this video. It's sad. I remember during the Me Too movement, an artist said, to paraphrase, that it's unfair, all we want to do is use our gifts, singing, acting, but we become held captive by these companies, individuals who have hijacked our dreams. These artists had dreams to just sing, dance, act, but found themselves trapped in a system that whores them for money. In secret they agonize in tears to be free. Consequently, the artist has become popular in the eyes of the public, and the public is blind, nor can they hear the cries behind the entertainment mask. This video is to expose the tactics of control to help the public understand the difficulty artists face in the business. These videos are difficult to make, because in one hand, the artist gifts are used for our enjoyment, entertainment, we foster a symbiotic relationship, and feel that we know our beloved artist, we love to support them with purchase of concerts, and paraphernalia, not understanding that it's the company that benefits more from their work. It's a difficult game of what comes first, chicken or the egg. You want to support, but supporting also means supporting their enslavement. My thoughts of freedom go out to these artists. My hope is that the public opens their eyes to the reality of the business, so that they can hear and see when the artist is crying out, so that we can be aware to help.